Live with me if you want to come. You know, in retrospect, that gets funnier over time. Just a little bit, though.
Rivers, DN 46890.
Anyhow, hi everyone, it's Combo. Once more, thrice more, thrice more. We're just going ahead and, you know, I feel that we're closing in on Terminator Resistance. We've hit well past the honeymoon phase. Oh, hello.
Hey, Jacob.
Hey,
Jacob.
Isn't she here?
She hasn't come back yet, but I'm sure she's fine.
Sure.
About Hollywood Hills. How did it go?
6 out of 10.
Hollywood Hills. Found your old house.
Did you?
What weird voice direction.
Your husband left for Mexico.
What are you talking about?
I found this letter in your house. It's from Peter. It says that he's heading there to look for you.
He couldn't find me when I was right under his nose. How's he gonna find me in Mexico? What a sweet fool.
You should go look for him.
You're right. I have to find him before he hurts himself. Baron's not gonna like that, but she never scared me. Thank you for finding him for me, Jacob.
Yeah, let's begin the moral dubious choices that let the timeline happen. Part 1 of A Few.
Don't touch that. That's how things get lost. Hey, Alvin, could you keep it down? I'm working with highly sensitive instruments here. I don't want to recalibrate them every time you say, hey.
Hey.
Anyways, I'm busy. Come back later.
I can't wait until he dies. Oh, he's so lame.
That's how things get lost.
That's how things get lost, by touching them? That explains why you're just kind of staring at a big old muscly dead man's Stelio Corpso. But okay, sure. Now, I have to admit, I do like how much I was thinking really hard about how to get around him. Like, for a moment, I thought the game was totally going to allow me to just kill Alvin, and I was excited. I had a plasma minigun at the time, and I was ready to just rip and tear. You know what I mean? Just Doom guy, brutal kills, the whole thing.
Have you heard that Dr. is still alive? If I ever get my hands on this.
You don't want to swear to him too much. He created Terminators. I'm sorry, he created the people that created Terminators. I'd say let that man be.
Huh, you're back. How was Hollywood Hills?
Her face looks wildly different from earlier in the game just because she's standing in light, and that makes me uncomfortable. Also, look how her scar's different now, isn't it? And how her hair's different when it's in the light. Also, her boobs, glitching through her vest. Not really focusing on that part because she has the skin of a chicken hot dog, but you know, it bothers me. No. It's a very big and noticeable glitch, and it's just like, your own model is clipping through itself.
And then come back to my quarters. I'll tell them.
Okay, that's a bad.
And
that's
one
a
more
real
thing,
bad.
touch it, Ryan. That buggy's been sitting there broken for too long. See if something's going on.
And we couldn't
I've got
find
a
a better
that he's hiding
better name either. Just Buggy.
Hey, Jacob, what's happening?
Baron wanted me to ask about that buggy. Is there a problem?
Yeah, she's been nagging me to fix the electronics in this piece of shit for a while now. Do you think you can help me with it?
Why are you asking me? You're the mechanic.
Listen, I'm good with tools. You give me a car with a gasoline engine, I'll make it run. But this electronic shit, I don't know anything about that. You know, most of my life, I lived without electricity.
Why not tell her?
She won't let me cherry-pick my own responsibilities, you know that. She'll throw me right out of here if she finds out. That's why I need your help. Quartermaster will give you all the parts, tell you what to do. Just think about it.
Sorry about that,
What's
folks.
going on?
I'm a little distracted.
Who did you say had those parts?
Quartermaster.
I'll talk to him.
Sure. Take your time.
I'll get right to it.
So, about the silences there a little bit earlier. It's not a big deal, but I've got an extended week off work because I had some symptoms. It's nothing major. It's just I had some call signs. I don't actually have COVID. I'm fairly certain because I don't show anything. I may be asymptomatic, but I won't know until I'm tested. But that's more or less why I'm recording this at the time of the recording of this video, May 1st.
Lying so that Baron would let him stay.
And yeah, I'm a little bit saddened by that.
I'm going to report.
Work was the one other place that I really had to go, and that I liked getting out of my apartment from, and now I don't have that at present.
Fuck, Rivers? What you think would happen, huh? Baron's kicking me out. That what you wanted? I'm a dead man.
I just love it, because I'm doing this for his own good, but he just gets so mad because he doesn't have the bad hindsight of vague descriptions from a hobo you encountered once. And so he just turns around like, what the fuck, Rivers? This is my home! I'm an old man! And the big old scary Halloween City skeletons are gonna shoot me in laser tag! And he totally has a point, because, I mean, he probably will. Unless he doesn't. For arbitrary story-based reasons. Because NPCs don't die unless the game tells you they will. That's kinda how it go. Unless you see their body immediately on the ground, always assume that everyone is alive. Yeah, that's not always true of a lot of games, but of this one, it is very much true. There's no reason Alvin should have even stayed alive after changing everything over for their defensive programs earlier in the game. Yeah, the honeymoon of this game, over. Still kind of fun, but the end mission is probably my favorite part of it, and that's about it.
Alvin. Huh?
Alvin!
What? I'm actually jealous of Mac. He's out there alone. No one's bothering him. If I had those working conditions, I would be just as successful as him.
He told me that I'll need some sort of a device to download Skynet security codes from NHK. Do you have it?
Yes, about that. Do you remember that day in downtown? I do. It was very traumatic. And because of that, I may have forgotten to bring back some things.
Including that device.
And the quantum battery which powers it. You won't be able to use it without it.
So I guess I'm off downtown.
Yes, you do that.
My favorite is how tired,
Touch that. That's
Oh.
how things get lost.
how tired Rivers sounds when he does that. So to keep the tally going, aside from going to fetch quest number 2, I have lied to 2 people to get them to leave shelter. And coming up on 3rd base,
God damn it!
he's out of the room.
I can't
Thank
make
you.
So much noise. I need absolute silence, so please stop that.
Yeah, don't notice that entire huge mechanical device. Just gone now. Yeah, I put it in my mouth. That's why I'm quiet right now. I'm not gonna say a word, not to anybody. Walking out of a CPU of a Terminator, just killed by a thing in my mouth and walking out of my knee.
Commander's waiting for you.
Oh, okay. I kind of like the mood lighting. And something that told me right away that this may be the result or lead into a sex scene is this is a new area you're never allowed to go in.
But hopefully we won't have to much longer. Thanks to people like us, this war will end soon. You proved that you'll do whatever it takes, no matter the cost. And so will I. Don't think your efforts go unnoticed. You know, I I killed a man long before I killed my first machine. I was hurt by a man long before the machines hurt me. Apart from
Oh good, she blinks. I was worried.
handmade scars
I was like,
underneath
this-
these tattoos.
Does this model not blink? Oh, okay.
In the good days, when I'm hurt, and I feel like this world is worth fighting for. In the bad days, I make my own fate.
Uh-huh.
Limits.
And where's this going?
We're so close. Skynet's almost finished. So you can understand I can't run. I need your help, Jacob. I need you to get rid of Mike.
How?
He's unpredictable. He sabotaged our mission and killed our men before. I cannot let him happen again. I need you to kill him as soon as he reprograms that rifle. You look shocked. But I think I can find a way to persuade you. If you're into it, that is.
You see, what really got me the moment that happened is looking down and seeing that little heart icon and going, oh, okay. Ugh. And so we have this. Picture Grandpa cooking bacon shirtless over a hot stove and the grease hitting his shirt a little bit. That's how much sexual energy is in this. You know what? I'll let it speak for itself with some help.
Close the door behind you.
And here we are. So, just to remind everyone that first sexual encounter the game decides to create for us is propositioned, and I am using that word in many different ways. At least two, to my knowledge.
Good. I marked the location of
And
Matt's reader
it's
in the
just
battery pack on your map.
kill
Let me
him,
know when you
and
find
you get a little bit of something. Alright. You into that? You into that? Great. My favorite part is, so that was like the fourth one, because I hate to break it to you, I don't know if I'm going to kill Mac. In fact, I'm leaning quite heavily towards not killing Mac, because I'm pretty sure Mac alluded to being the person that reprograms the CPU for the Terminator in T2, and that seems important to John Connor, so we're just gonna go ahead and keep Mac alive, but hey, got some free Watusa from that, I suppose. Speaking of which, you know what's way better than that sex scene? Fighting this T-47. Look how cool these things are. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I love them. I love looking at them. They're the coolest shit. Big old mecha Terminators with big old red glowing flaming skulls. Who would not like that? The thing that makes me really disappointed with this game is it adds that feature that you saw about, I want to say, a part ago, maybe two, and it's the one where you can go ahead and take pictures of various Skynet models of the Terminator line. You can do that at any extent, but it has no purpose aside from one achievement, and there's no model viewer. You can't even view the pictures you take of these Terminators. So it's not even a true photo mode, and it doesn't actually do anything, aside from a couple missions where you take recon photos. So effectively, it's just a dead mode that exists here. And given that this game doesn't have any model viewers whatsoever, probably because they didn't want to show off some of the flaws of their character models, which to be honest aren't terrible if you're only looking at Terminators. But yeah, there's just... I suppose that's really the theme of this particular part of Terminator Resistance, is at this point in the game, there's a lot of things that were established that are kind of just left behind. For example, why on earth would you want to keep small arms ammo of any kind or variety when you'll be fighting more and more T-800s and big mecha boys? Because small arm fire is worthless against them. Anything that isn't a laser will not kill the robot. Setting down traps like this assumes that you know the traffic pattern of the Terminators that come by, but if you know the traffic patterns, you probably won't interact with them. You'll more than likely shoot them in the head, and then shoot them when they get back up, until you get the second-gen rifle.
Great.
Which, I have to say, the game is pretty good at stretching out its runtime before I get that second-gen rifle, considering I have to go on 2 separate missions in order to actually activate it. It is a lengthy process to get one gun for moi. So I find that to be very interesting, especially when John Connor's entire division has second-gen rifles from the rip. It kind of... Oh, I spoiled that a little bit. But yeah, that's something in the future. You will have to deal with the fact that you go 2 missions and sacrifice a lot of lives to get one gun that John Connor and all his forces have ample amounts of. Also, regardless of how far away you are, if you shoot those, they do damage you. Even when you're not remotely in the blast radius, it just hurts. The mines are a bad time, and you will be hurt by them, no matter what. See? Look, I took damage even though I'm in the next room. Ridiculous. Frivolous. Dumb. You know what else is dumb? The NPC on this level. The side quest is called Lady Vengeance, and maybe I missed a note. Maybe I didn't get full context of it until the very end, but all I got from it is that it is a woman getting supplies around, and her daughter may or may not have been killed by an infiltrator unit, so she's very distrustful of people.
You shouldn't be here. Skynet's right around the corner.
Yeah? Show me a corner Skynet's not around. You can leave now, because I'm not opening this door for anyone or anything.
I'm just here to help.
You want to help me? Fine. Go to my hideout at the metro station and bring back my transmitter. Then you'll help me.
Alright, I can do that.
You know, that seemed pretty straightforward, right? Hey, just go to my place. Take care of the thing. Do the zip zap soup. But to be honest, it goes nowhere, and all that happens is that someone will die, and someone else will get a lot of resources they may not have needed. Now, my long-term goal at this end was that when I would get that second-gen rifle, I would have more ammo for it than I would ever need. And the results ended up being pretty dead on there after a bit. I am recording this in the futures. This gameplay was taken at the time of me playing it, but this is me, I think, 2 days later. I've had a lot of stuff going on, some work and other work-related things.
Got it.
Ah, here it is.
You thought you could fool me? I know you're one of those things. You're not getting away, you motherfucker.
What?
The skin peeled off, revealing a horrid metal skull. Was there ever a better indicator that it's time to leave? I'm just gonna help myself to some of these weapons the soldiers left, and I'm getting the hell out of here! Indicating that there was an infiltrator unit among the resistance. And for some reason, after setting all these traps, she couldn't kill it. I'm assuming. Which is dumb. You know what else is dumb? All these lasers that no one needed. turned into a real struggle fest trying to leave.
Oh, no, you don't.
Stop it! I'm from the Resistance!
Stand still.
Don't shoot!
Now, this turns into an arbitrary moment.
Friends are coming for me.
You need to hide.
Also, the music just going and then goes away. Probably because I cleared the area before I actually dealt with her. So they were probably expecting me to trip over more Terminators, and I did not, aside from the ones they'll spawn for her. I have to say, once you fully upgrade your health, everything else just does turn into easy mode after a while. Get some extra heals in case you need to tank some things, and if you're not wanting to play carefully. I wasn't trying to play particularly careful this round, and thus I was like, I'll chew on a zipper, I'll eat a little medkit, have a little healing sandwich. It was fine. Oh, God. If it wasn't for the sound design of this game, I probably wouldn't have stuck with it for as long as I did. Jesus. Oh, right. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Also, she has the bluest eyes. What an interesting design choice there. I kind of like them, except that you wouldn't really notice without the flashlight on. And yeah, she's just gonna have no bearing on the story. Nothing significant about that woman in the slightest. But okay, sure, why not? This is me trying to play inventory management because I didn't fully upgrade the backpack. I actually just wanted to upgrade, I don't know, DPS-y things and tanky tank things. But what was really annoying, and I hated this, they tied ammo types to the specific launchers. Like, you have that rocket launcher there. It's the default regular rocket launcher. It's fine. But if you have heat-seeking missiles, they can only be shot from a heat-seeking missile launcher, and the game doesn't outright tell you this unless you read it, and you realize that the model number of the missile launcher does not match the model number of the heat-seeking missiles. Thus, if you spend a lot of scrap, currency, yeah, we'll just go currency. If you do that, you're wasting your money until you can get a heat-seeking rocket, and you don't get that until late game randomly, where they'll give you ammo for it anyway, so it's just a big, colossal, annoying waste of time and inventory space. It's like the equivalent of walking around with Magnum ammo when you're only using Matilda in RE, RE2, to be specific. Big, annoy energy.
I've got the code reader working.
Now go look for an HK. During the attack, our team heavily damaged an HK tank. That's your safest bet, but be careful. The area is filled with Terminators. If I were you, I'd sneak past them.
Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum. Zip. And as you can see, that's what I meant. When you level up your weapon skills, I actually just wanted to watch him get up to do that, and then I got saddened by the amount of effectiveness snipers have in this game at point blank. Boop. But yeah, the sniper rifle gets really OP really fast, and then if you add the microchips to them, it gets even better. So it kind of just becomes your de facto best weapon in the game because it's ammo conservative and it's very powerful. The slow rate of fire is bad for anything else, but assuming you actually made it through the rest of this game with a sidearm, all the silverfish and any little doodads in the way of you would probably die relatively easy. Oh god. I need more caffeine.
You can get past that laser gate with the code reader.
Also, I love how hacking the main story-related things are just, I'm in, I'm out, thanks. Well, okay. Wanted to see how good those minigames you were designing this whole game would actually be worth in this situation where I am required to hack? No? Okay. Well, I guess I'm done. I remember thinking very critically right about here. Just trying to do my best to make it through here. Do it quietly and calculatedly. Just because the NPC said, hey, be careful. It might get loud over there. And I went, okay, sure. Alvin, yeah, you talk a big game. You understand the lay of things, scientist man who understands the robots. And then I remember getting spotted by a Terminator through a very weird sightline and just taking care of business. I'm pretty sure that's what happens here. Let's see how much damage I am sponging up. Did I get a picture of those? I don't remember. Look at him, just jittering around. They're kind of cute. Not big old bony boys, though. Yep, he saw me while I was turned around, I believe, and that's how that happened. So, laser tag commences. Ka-chow. Wow. At least past me got that done. I do like that the game will try to scare you by going, oh, well, they're dead, right? Right? Making the heat signature go away in supervision, and then suddenly it's like, dun, 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 dun. Okay, it's back, but we kind of scared you, right? Except the time for it to do this was relatively short and therefore not all that helpful. I wonder if I'll play Battlefront 2 relatively soon. I've been off it for a while just because of the file size being too big for my PS4. I have a regular PS4. That's what I do all my recording on. And to be honest, I played casually, and then I liked a lot of the things that I was seeing before. But the game never had any staying power with me. I really like co-op mode. That's a good way to level up characters. It's nice.
Looks like they set up an outpost here. Should I engage?
That's not your main objective, but I'll leave that up to you.
You know, who wouldn't want to shut down a Skyrim area? But hey, I mean, I've got time, because time is infinite when you're in the field. Oh no, robot. Gone. No, he's dead, right? Dun 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 dun, no. Kablam. Gonzos. And that's where we are. In the right here, right now. Those sexy, fluttery skeleton bodies laying on the ground, and Jesus Christ, it's Gen 2 plasma turrets. Or as I like to call it, aggressive rewrite. Ba-bam. Did I just start only brute forcing it at this point? Oh no, I chose not to for this one. Brute forcing is also a good way to break the game loop, because then you just go, actually I think I'll just go ahead and hack. I'll do story mode hacks. It'll only cost me 1 chip. So if you ever have something that has a perk ability you don't use, like stability or... Well, let's see. What are the useless ones to me? I think it's either clip size, stability, or an accuracy buff. You could just spend those, and if they're the right quality, when you brute force things, your chances of just outright doing it, instantaneous. You always have a 65% chance, and I found 60% of the time it works 100% of the time. Like, I think right here is the only time I had trouble with it, possibly. I don't remember. Oh, no? No, that one happened outright and turned out OBKB. So I guess it's not that one. Yep, this is me checking the map to make sure that I'm heading towards, side objectives, because for some reason I still cared about them by this point. Probably because I thought my character choices were still in flux, and that the game wasn't just wrapped up for me. Foolishness, Dante. Foolishness. God, that might be something else I could put on the channel after I do some work. I wouldn't mind playing DMC5 again for a little bit. I'm relatively new to this series. I played DMC4, and then I played DMC5, but then I really liked the lore of it. The Super Best Friends kind of snuck that one on me. Oh! Gameplay. It has to occur. I do like the rifle that Lady Vengeance had. It's semi-automatic, so it's pretty good on being energy conservative. And the damage... Excuse me. The damage on it isn't outright terrible. It's fairly serviceable in its use. Can't complain about that. I can complain about a lot of things, but not that. Yeah, I'm very congested right now, so I do apologize for that. It's partially why I'm home at this time instead of being almost an hour off work. It was a hard time breathing, but it's mostly congestion, I think. Got a summer bug. That, I don't know. I'm diabetic, so I'm a high-risk person. I'd rather not find out that I have COVID, because recovering from that would be not good for my organs. And it's scary, you know? I often wonder what people who weren't affected by the Black Death felt when they were in the middle of a vast plague. How would they look at neighbors and people that they know when they're sick? How how would you deal with it when you would have those kinds of moments of uncertainty? Where you ask yourself, do I have this? What happens if I do? Well, for me, it's, I'm going to find something to do until I find out that I have it or not. And that involves laser tag with big robos, and putting my thoughts to video. And that's why I'm here. Now, this is more therapy for me than content for other people. If you like watching my videos, I appreciate it, and it's nice to have an audience. But if not, well, don't watch them. So, I will make things. If people have any suggestions about other games that are kind of like cheesy but a little bit fun to play, that you want me to check out, hey, I mean, I'll play them. I don't mind. It'll be easier if I can get copies from people than buying them outright. But if I'm interested enough, I'll buy them. It'll be fine. I'll probably wait till they're on sale, and then they'll be incredibly irrelevant to anyone watching. But retro plays probably don't have the same problem that does. You know, it's the equivalent of playing Star Wars Bounty Hunter in 2020. Everyone knows how that game goes if you've played it, but if not, they're just going to watch how you play it, or what you'll say about it. Ooh, that's right. That reminds me, maybe I'll re-download Arkham Asylum. I have a lot of words on that one, because I really don't like the remaster for it. I know it was fixed a little bit, but I feel that the people who did the remaster weren't aware of the intention of the visual tone of that game. Because everything's very action figure-y. I felt it was tightening up the image that Arkham Knight had to it. It was making some congruencies of Arkham Knight a bit more, but to be honest, it still didn't quite... It didn't jive well. To me, I love the Arkham games. It's some of the only games that I've platinumed on the PS4. I think I have 5 platinum trophies, I want to say. Because I like playing video games casually, but every now and again, if I really like the game, I'll platinum it. I almost platinumed this, but I didn't care that much towards the end, so I never went back into Pasadena. One way you can level up... I'm sorry, one achievement in this game that I didn't get was the achievement for unlocking the impossible door, because it's a hard lock early game. And that's the only reason I don't have a platinum for this one, because if you did unlock that door, you would have platinumed this game the moment you finished it. There's no incentives to play it on a harder difficulty aside from challenge, and even then the challenge can get pretty artificial when it comes to the infiltrator units, because fighting them was a fucking disaster. And I don't recommend it. It's not a good idea. I mean, there's nothing truly god-awful about this game, aside from those moments. I actually really like the gameplay loop for the most part. It's just, it is, and it feels like a PS3 game. Had this game come out maybe 10 years ago, or around the time the Dark Fate was a thing? I'm sorry, not Dark Fate, because that is fairly recent in my timeline. I meant Genesis. Yes, I meant Terminator Genesis. If this was released around that time that Jai Courtney was Jai Courtneying it up with Matt Smith and Daenerys Dany, yeah, that'd be fine. I think that would be a better tie-in than this appearing around the same time as Dark Fate. I understand why it did, because Dark Fate was trying to soft retcon the franchise by saying that only Dark Fate, T1 and T2 happened. Instead of saying everything's built upon everything, going on and on and on. While I understand they chose not to go that route, as nice and consistent as that is, it didn't add to the franchise as much as it thought it would. In fact, the politicalness of Dark Fate is disgusting and annoying to hear about ad nauseum, because I do understand a lot of the critiques of Dark Fate, and to some extent it does make for a pretty okay action film, but its story beats are shamelessly, constantly, and forever just rehashings of previous ideas, because Terminator peaked at T2. It went from sci-fi horror in the first one to sci-fi action with really interesting visual effects, and that was good. Brandon and I talk a lot about Terminator, just because of how relevant it's been in the past year and a half, as far as a franchise that centered our lives, given it being MK making it a little bit more relevant or otherwise. It's just... you can have just Terminator 1 and leave it there. Terminator 2 isn't a necessary sequel, but it is a very, very polished and well done one. It's ultimately more profitable, I'd say, more universal. More of the hero's journey we aren't fully needing. But I'd say you could, in fact, enjoy the franchise without it. I like it. It's my favorite one. But when Dark Fate says it's the only one, and then it rehashes various other ideas and influences from the other movies, and then it adds nothing new to it aside from the possibility of why not both? And it's just, it's incredibly weak and jarringly flaccid. Now, I appreciate that only second level plasma can take down these HK aerials, and that this one glitched the fuck out because it didn't like how much that turret I reprogrammed was hitting it. I appreciate that happening. It keeps it busy for the rest of the level, because I'm pretty sure if I didn't hack that turret, I'd have it chase me for the rest of the level. But instead, it has chosen to fight that turret to the death, and I enjoy that. Anyway, that's all for this part. Thanks for listening in to my rambles. Bye.